Welcome. We are live. Somebody give me the thumbs up if you can hear me. Let me test my own sound here for a second. I did some, my computer crashed the other day. And kind of heck getting all your settings back and all your, installations. It's really a pain in the butt. That's why I'm glad I keep everything on paper. A lot of people think that's crazy anymore. But tell you what, it pays off sometimes. Oh crap! Wheel burner went live. I saw he had posted a live, but he never showed up, so I figured that was a mistake. Anyway, we're here. We're here. Let me take a second here to like my own video. Come on now, stop this. Stop the foolishness here, YouTube. All right, sound is working. So we're good. Yeah, today we're going to talk about failure in trucking. Been seeing a lot of videos, a lot of prime trucks saying, I'm out, I'm bowing out, freight sucks, everything. And in particular, I want to talk about, and I've invited him here today to join me, and he's going to join me in a little bit. You've probably all seen Jackknife TV, right? If you've seen the trucking channel, Jackknife TV, go check it out. He's going through some real stuff right now, some real adult stuff, right? And his words, failing. So I want to bring him on and talk to him directly instead of being like a lot of other people and bagging on him behind his back. So we're going to talk to him directly and hopefully help a little bit. One thing I'm seeing that I don't like is checking out the comments of some of the recent videos he's posted. And people are just being absolutely nasty to him. And you know what? There's really no reason for that. It's not helpful. Has the guy made some mistakes? Did he not listen to some people? Absolutely. And he'll be the first one to tell you that. But to pile on, and the guy has made some statements, he's in a bad place mentally right now. You don't need to do that. It's a saying of people's constant feeling they need to be right or get the last word. Sometimes swallow hard, keep it to yourself, and just support and try to help, because the guy sounds like he's about to cancel his subscription to breathing. And do you really want to be a part of that? No. It's better to just be a part of the solution, really. So we'll get to that in a minute here. Hopefully he'll pop in and we'll all talk like adults and maybe even come up with some helpful things. You don't have to, if you're not going to be part of the solution, at least don't be part of the problem. Hey, he'll be the first to tell you you've done some things wrong. Okay. Now what? Right? Let's flip it all around and not further do the guy wrong. So cheap freight hauler in the house. Let's burn through some comments here. Say hi to everybody. The dog's, can you see her back there? She's already hounded me for beef jerky. Good morning. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. We'll make it through. Absolutely. And we'll get into that a little bit. Failure. There's a difference between failure and failing, right? Failure is a complete state of mind. It's when you give up and just say, I'm a miserable failure. I can't do anything right. I'm just going to burn it all down. Even if there is I'm not even going to try to do better. I'm not going to whatever. Failing, everybody's failed. I've failed. Shoot, dug myself out from it, learn, regroup. Maybe you'll try again. Maybe you won't. Big difference between failing and being a failure. You can be absolutely be one without the other. It's your mindset. And that part is up to you. That's the part that's up to you. Asphalt Jungle says, I know better than that. If you're really struggling, it's because of the market or economy. You have a tremendous business head. Well, thank you, Asphalt Jungle. No, I clickbaited a little bit. Obviously, we all do it. But this isn't necessarily about me. Although I will say things are hard right now, man. Things are hard. It's not easy. And one of the things I want to talk about is and this is not on the jackknife side. We're going to leave him out of this part for a second. This is some of the other videos I'm seeing. What do you do on your way out? That's where the mindset thing comes in. If you're failing, or if you are a failure, because some of the videos I'm seeing, let's pick on Prime. I just no particular reason. I just like to, and this isn't even all about their drivers or them. I just like to pick on Prime. So, what do you do on your way out? Okay, you make a video, and here's all the reasons I'm failing. All right, the market's tough. Yeah, it is. That's legit. It's a legit reason to fail. The deadheading me too far. There's no loads, right? I'm hearing stories of upwards of 500, 600, 700-mile deadheads. That's going to sting. That's definitely going to hurt your numbers and your bottom line. And then maybe no loads period. That's going to, these are all legit. But rather than acknowledge that and say, okay, it's bad environment for me, can't survive this environment, maybe I'll just bow out, regroup. Maybe I won't do it again. Maybe I will, and here's how I'll do it. Or on your way out, do you just burn everything down? And you got to place blame somewhere, right? So my dispatcher's an idiot. They're screwing me over. This, that, and the other thing. Or, there was a load right here. I know for a fact of this, and they sent me over here, or they took this load away from me and gave it to this person because they liked them better. Hey, that's all things that are your choice. They may or may not be true. They may or may not. But you don't have to burn it down on your way out the door. You don't have to, some people, I've failed. I'm comfortable in my failure because every time I have, it's made me better and stronger, right? There's this argument out there, oh, failure is good because you can learn from it. Or, I don't think failure is good. I think there's good things that can come from failure, but I think most failure is bad. But then you take the good lessons away from it. Okay, I learned this, and that, I'm gonna do it this way this time. So to say, oh, failure can be good, I don't necessarily agree with that, but there are good things that can come from it, right? So rather than say I was irresponsible or neglectful in the contract that I signed up for, of, hey, I can't support $1,000 to $1,500 to $1,800 a week truck payment and expenses. I think the highest one I ever saw was about $1,800 a week. That was something I did, right? Is it the carrier setting people up for bad deals? Yeah, but you signed up for it. So rather than say, okay, that business model doesn't work, let's not do that again. It's, oh, they screwed me over. My dispatcher sucks, so I'm just going to go over to this other place here and sign up for pretty similar or the same deal because it's going to work over here. But then if it doesn't, I'll say, well, this person screwed me, or the dispatcher didn't like me, whatever. Okay, seeing a lot of that. I'm not afraid to admit failure. I have failed. My first truck I ever bought was an epic failure. Bought what year was that? It was in 1999, 98. It was like a 96 Pete. And the thing turned out to just be an absolute piece of junk. And I couldn't keep up to the failures when I first started. It was within 3 months, it was essentially undrivable from all the problems that it had. And I failed. Absolutely. And then I went back being a company driver. And for the next couple of years, I thought, you know what? I'm going to learn about these damn trucks. I know about farm equipment. So I can learn about these trucks, how to fix them, what they are, and then the trucking business, and pay attention to the lanes I'm running. And then, when I got back in it, a family member of all people behind my back said, oh, well, the idiot didn't learn his lesson the first time. I hope he fails again. Well, they got back to me. It's all the fuel that I needed to go ahead and just burn it up, right? And do everything that I could do to make it work. And it has, and I did. So, big screw you to that person. But when a person has failed, it doesn't make them a bad person. It doesn't make them stupid. when it gets to a point where you got to remember, this is a person. Have a little bit of damn compassion. Rather than your never-ending need to be right and tell somebody that they're stupid or say ha ha or quit whining. I look at the comments in Jackknife's last couple of videos, and it absolutely disgusts me, to be honest with you. There's no need to say something. You can think them. Fight the urge to be a public douchebag and say these things. It's not. Be a person first. Be kind. Be compassionate. And I hope he turns off the comments or doesn't read them, because the guy's got enough problems already. He doesn't need people piling on, driving him towards the worst case scenario. So remember that. YGT says, counting blessings. We're still here and adding New Jersey to the do not run list for June's 1.5 million insurance hike. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that hopefully sooner than later. I haven't gotten all the answers that I want in order to talk about it. But yeah, we'll have to get to that soon, because I guess it's June in a couple days, isn't it? So we'll have to get to, and I'll be late as usual. Usually late on these things, but whatever, is what it is. It's like the news stations. They be first to get the news out. They got to be first to get the news out, whether it's right or not, right? I'd rather just wait. CDN Freight Broker in the house. Morning, DIY. He's done some good stuff lately with Snorlord. Check that out. Check out his channel. About he's trying to tell people just how big this fraud situation is in trucking with brokers and carriers, and it's I don't really think people get it, just how bad it is. And it just came on so fast, and it's so evolving so fast that can't possibly keep up to it. It's horrific, really. And hey, where have you thought about this? Where's it going next? Because if the day comes when we do catch up to it and they get a grip on it, these fraud people don't give up. They just move on to the next thing. So we got to be thinking one step ahead, and hey, what is the next thing where's the next area that we're vulnerable, right? And we got to start thinking about that and how to secure those parts of our lives and businesses so they can't get a grip on that and hurt us again. A lot of stories, and this has been going on for years, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's the next big thing, because there's big money in it. And people essentially stealing people's real estate. They'll go into and cloud your title for your home, file false documents, and essentially take title to your home. It's been happening a lot. Grumpy Trucker in the house says, good morning from Quincy, Illinois. Ooh, I know Quincy. Watch out for them traffic cameras. CDN Freight Broker, focus on your own book of business and you will come out positive on the other side. Yeah, that's good advice. It's a good thing to do. Grade 8 Transportation in his house. Good morning, DIY and chat. Good morning, Grade 8 Transportation. K-Save says, I can't believe you're finally making a live dedicated to me. Much love. Hey, if you want to come on, K-Save, let me know. I'll send you a link. Just tell me where to send it. I'm not the guy that's going to pile on, but I really particularly want to talk to Jackknife, because I have some things that I want to talk to him about, and I'd rather do it here face to face. Not going to douche him behind his back. E-Carrier Check says, hashtag be kind. Absolutely. I tell you what, in the other side of what's going on with people leaving crappy comments, there's a lot of places out here that are here to help you. And hey, E-Carrier Check is one of them. Check out their channel. They do some great informational videos. If nothing else, it'll help you understand another whole side of the business. You may not like it, the information, you may disagree with it. That don't mean it's wrong. That just means you don't like it or you disagree with it, but you should know it. And that's a great place to know it. And I've done some videos with them, man. These guys, I don't know why their channel isn't 100,000 subscribers. It should be one of the biggest trucking channels. And I think over time, it's going to get there. It's going to get there. I want to help them with that. Snorlord, the Metalhead Viking Caveman Trucker, the longest YouTube trucker name in existence, also a channel member, says, "What's up? How you doing, Snorlord?" Jerome Jones in the house. Good morning, everyone. Morning, Jerome. Sterling Wheel says, "Failure checking in." Hey, come on. No, Sterling, I like the show you did with Jackknife the other day. I also want to talk to him. I support pretty much everything you told him. I do. Tennessee Trucking says, "Absolutely, Adam. He needs support, not ridiculed." Yeah, let's be. You know what? It's part of what's wrong with trucking. Number one, but this isn't just trucking; it's life in general. I think social media has caused a lot of this. People always have to have the last word. People have to be right at any cost, regardless of who you hurt. Like, this person needs to be told he's an idiot. How many times do you see on YouTube, maybe in these drama channels, well, somebody needs to call him out? No, they don't. Who is anybody to do that to another person? You're not. Just take the high road. So what's missing in trucking, number one, is gratitude. I was thinking the other day, and I may do a video on this, of just thinking of everything I have in my life, materialistic and otherwise, and I can trace 95% of it back to trucking. I'm freaking grateful for that, and in the future, and I'm grateful for the current environment. How many places you see that are just laying off like crazy, and most of us are still here doing it, right? It may not be the income or the living that you want, but it'll keep you fed, keep you alive, and then there'll be another day. So gratitude, and then just taking the high road. More often we need to take the high road and just, you don't like somebody, you don't support them, you don't agree with them. Hey, it's like Mama said, nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, right? If that really bothers you to keep all that inside, that's something wrong with you. It's not anything wrong with them, and you need to fix that. Cents per mile in-house says, "When the market is that bad, just smuggle some snow." More tips and tricks at DIYsemi.com. Absolutely. That's the kind of valuable insightful information we try to provide at DIYsemi.com. Absolutely. Mr. Wood Jr., 72. Fate, sell that red turd international. Oh, come on now. We're gonna sell it. There's more money in collect than the insurance money. So we're looking for a bridge with a low Jersey barrier. Give that thing a Mississippi truck wash. Come on. John Connolly, this morning all. WCF Invader says, "Thank you for this DIY." So a little bit back, let's go back to my, I guess, I don't know if it's my biggest failure, but I guess the first time I failed in trucking, 1998-ish, 9-ish, something like that. And I bought that truck, ran it, insurmountable repairs. And, I was a different person back then than I am now. I pretty much said, "Come and get it." They came and repossessed it, and then they came after, auctioned it and came after me for the difference, and I paid it. Didn't file bankruptcy, didn't dodge them. I actually used what the hell did I use? A check from a credit card and paid the difference. I think it was like $7,500 I owed. So I paid it, and then I spent the next few years paying that off and went back to a company driver. And I got into running certain lanes really regular and got to know them. And I'm like, all right, I get this. I know different customers and, all the places to stay on this lane, and learning the reasons why we run this lane, because there's so much freight here and all this and that. So I really just studied that, and I paid attention to everything I could about every load they sent me, and just kind of became a student of trucking. And one day I'm like, and then the ego kicks in, right? Like I said, I was a different person back then. It says, you know what? They do all these things I don't like. I'm not going to change that. I can't change anybody's mind. So I'm going to go do it myself, because I know better than everybody else. Turns out I didn't. Got back in and got my authority. And, we did okay. I always did okay. Had a lot of setbacks along the way, but one thing I was willing to do was learn, and I was just had a hunger for learning, and uh, compiled it all. I really went and nerded out and got into all the the different permits and the taxes, blah blah blah. Something that would make most people's eyes roll back in their head. And kind of put it all together and just kept plugging along and saving money. And then we decided to do this, a few years ago and kind of expand. And I was ready for it because that's another thing I learned along the way. A great accountant one day told me the number one reason why businesses fail is lack of capital. It's lack of capital, like cash money, liquid money, or access to it. And I kind of put that to use, that knowledge. So, I always need to have a war chest. If I'm going to do something big like expand, I need to have money. I can't do it all on credit. And that's been very, very useful to me. It's part of what's kept me out of that, failure side of things for a time now. And always have in the back of my mind, hell, I could fail tomorrow. Any one of us in here could fail tomorrow, right? There's just certain things that all of us can't overcome. But that doesn't mean you're a failure. Anybody in business or CEO or whoever has failed. It's the ones that just keep on plugging on, right? Toga says, oi, oi. All right. Stirring the wheel in the house. Tito's and soda. Hey, DIY greetings from Orlando. Woo. I hear it's hot down there. I hear it's hot. D Compton in the house. What's up, DIY? Thanks for coming in, buddy. Snorlord, channel member, says right now it's not about how much money one is making. It's about how much money you are saving. I'll take that one step further. It's always about that. And let me be let for a minute here. Let me be the know-it-all who can't keep his mouth shut, right? Just for a second for illustration. We're going through this tough time. We're seeing people make a lot of making videos about failing. And this is not about any one particular person. So don't anybody say I'm saying this about Jack Nick. We're going to talk when he comes in. When will people finally admit, or when will they realize this is a terrible way to say it. I'm not as smart as I think I am. And that's not exactly what I mean. I just don't know a better way to say it. Because once you realize that, you humble yourself and say, I'm ready to learn. I don't know everything about this. You know how much there's that I want to learn? I've never learned to weld. I grew up on a farm. I've been in trucking, working on stuff. I never learned to weld. So can I sit here and be the freaking authority on welding to you guys, or tell people how to weld? No. Something I want to do. I think that could make my business better and stuff. So when will people acknowledge that the way some things have been done, these long held things, they don't work? They're not going to work. And one of those things is the high dollar lease purchase programs. They're not designed for you to win. Whether or not they work, whether or not people complete them all the time. They're not designed that way. They're designed for the carrier. And I know why they design them that way, to limit, some downside for them, and, increase the upside about a little bit. But it is always about, you see people bragging about, I made 400,000 last year. I made 600,000. I made 150,000. Well, guess what? That guy that made it gross 150,000 might have took more to the bottom line than the guy who made 275. Gross means nothing. It's that number that's left over. Now you can manipulate that through different tax strategies and planning. I get that. I'm talking about cash on cash money, spendable, touchable, tangible money. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. So that's what we have to say. And building an inefficient operation, we figured that out when fuel prices went to $6 a gallon, right? We found out how much it hurts not to have an efficient operation, but a lot of people plugged on through that, right? And now that rates are in the toilet, hey, it goes back to an efficient operation. then I don't give a damn about, well, if you're running for less than this, you're part of the problem. Not being able to adapt in business and learn your place in the market, build relationships, and having to have every damn thing your way. And if it's not your way, all you do is go out there and scream at whose damn fault it is. That's the problem. It's not me, what I'm doing with my business. That's none of your business. All right. Sharpen your skills. Be open-minded. Learn different ways to do things. And say, maybe having a really inefficient. I'm not bagging on guys with hood trucks. There's plenty of other ways to run an inefficient operation. All right. Not clearly understanding taxes, not clearly understanding a lot of these things. It's efficiency. When are we going to finally say that part of the biggest problem with owner operators, carriers, people in business is our refusal to acknowledge these glaring things? Because guess what? Trucking is changing with or without you. Trucking don't give a damn about what you think. There's people right now trying to change trucking that you have no idea about, of the things that they're trying to do on the other sides of the business. They don't care if you keep up or not. You'll either keep up or you'll be replaced. Find somebody that can. And right now they're finding all kinds of people that'll work for less, right? Through slavery, and we all know the things, right? We all know, I don't even have to get into that. There's some things we can't keep up with. There's nothing we can do about it, but we have to control every little thing that we can. Otherwise, on the way out the door, we have no right to scream and holler whose fault it was when we share a good bit of the blame. And these are all things that need to be said. A lot of people are going to hate that. And people are going to hate me for saying it. Whatever. But in life in general, it's not about how much you make. It's about how much you save. There's these, read a book called The Millionaire Next Door. The rich people in this country is not who you think they are. There's these middle class that drive very reasonably priced cars, live in modest homes, and just create businesses, save and invest. Those are the real rich people. It ain't. Chances are, if you look like you're rich, you're probably not. You just have a lot of credit. XL load, oh dang, 500-mile deadhead. Yeah, I've been hearing stories of a lot longer than that. Music City misery loves company. We're all seeing some misery in this current market. Nobody is alone in the suffering. No, we're not. We're not. Nobody is alone. So how about being supportive? It's trucking is so interesting in that how oftentimes do you hear the thing, we all need to get together and X, right? Or we all need to get together and Y, whatever, insert thing here, right? Yet when the first person like Jackknife is struggling, half the freaking people turn on them and tell them to quit whining. That's not getting together. That's not being a brotherhood. That's not, we're all in the same boat, helping each other, supporting each other, working towards a common goal. I'll tell you what, this trucking thing is weird. Driving with John, good morning. I didn't know you were alive. I just happened to see a pop-up just now. Yes, I agree. Failure is just another chance to learn. Trust me, I know. John's had a failure, bounced back from it, doing real well. Yes, despite popular rumors, I am alive. Music City Transport, also kudos to you, DIY. There may be someone who sees this that may be able to extend a helping hand. That's my prayer, at least. Yeah. So remember the human being behind all this, right? There's a lot of people of faith, and we all like to think we're a good person. Well, don't act like a douchebag to somebody then. There's times we rib each other for fun, right? We like to have fun. Cash and my brother Cash and I would joke, fake trucking. We all joke and give you some, give each other some crap. But that'll never happen when things get real. It never will. We all know where the line is on that. CDN says, it's unfortunate truck prices are coming down. It's too easy to get into this industry as both a carrier or broker. Shippers take advantage of inexperience and mess with legitimate companies' plans. Yeah. You're absolutely right. I had it out again yesterday with highway. Uh, Raise your hand if you're, or how about this thumbs up emoji if you are a carrier, owner, operator, whatever you want to call yourself, and you are tired of the company called Highway. I told them yesterday that somebody's going to bring a class action suit against them for torturous interference. Told them that straight up because they're providing bad information to brokers, and I've told them about it a couple times now. Having trouble getting set up with certain brokers because they're providing them false information. And I said, I've told you this is the second time. I said, I'm also telling you right now, there's a group of us preparing a lawsuit against you. So you might either want to shape up. They didn't care. They just came back. Oh, it's just information. It's the broker's choice what to do with it. Well, if you're providing the information, you have a duty to make sure it's correct. Otherwise, I don't know which way it is if you do it online, if it's slander or libel, whatever. They're slightly different. One's spoken, one's in writing. So I don't know how that translates on the internet. But it says you're liable for that. And we're going to get you because it's costing me business. It's costing me business relationships. A cheap trailer says, I missed the first 5 minutes. Video never started on my thought DIY was just late. Oh, they call me Mr. Punctuality. That's what they call me down at the gym. Oh, what am I doing? I forgot to change my background here when we started talking bad. Here we go. There. Everything's on fire. Things are horrible. And everybody should run and hide. How's that? Apocalypse. Trucking apocalypse. Come on. By the way, everything I'm saying today, I did not hear on Freight Waves. This is all my own personal opinion. I'm one of the ones that can come on here and give my own personal opinion and thoughts without having to regurgitate every damn thing that Freight Wave says. I could give 2 craps about Freight Waves. Driving with John, if you're not willing to admit that you messed up, learn from it, do better, then you're going to be successful. Every successful person has failed. That's true. And you may never hit that success. You may never, but it's okay. Like, live a good life, man. Have a good life. Killian's trucking. I don't know. Big arm muscle emoji. That's right. Music City, they call it WD-40 for a reason. Edison is well known for his failures. What does WD-40 have to do with Edison? And WD stands for water displacement. Is 40 the number of times they had to make it to get it right? I don't know. Yeah, Edison had a lot of failures. Learned, if it took him 100th time to make the light bulb, he learned 99 ways not to make one, right? Put the ball in your court. Would you hire him as a company driver? I don't know. I don't know what his record is. We'd have to talk about, how long you want to stay out, when you run, pay, all that. I don't have benefits to offer, so I know he has certain family obligations. I don't know how that works. I have no. He and I have talked better than a year ago, probably 2 years ago, year and a half, when he was first getting to Kenworth, and there would have been an opportunity at that point to do something. I don't know. I don't know where he's at with all that. What do you like and dislike about your Mack trucks? They're durable. I'll give them that. The price point is it's a very good price point for an entry-level truck. Let's see. Downside, fuel economy is not what you'd hope it to be for long term. But it's I've had several drivers, man. This one truck has been passed around to several different drivers, and I have it back here in my yard, and I'm probably going to sell it if this one driver doesn't want it. Because everybody started, with these Macks that the price was just, hey, instead of having a $1,600 a week payment, try $900 a month, right? You'll have money. Oh, it's going to break. Yeah, you're going to have money to fix it. Anyway, and was it 700,000 miles now? And everybody that started in it has upgraded to a Cascadia and is now getting 8 miles a gallon. This thing, if you drive it right, you can be over 7. If you got a lead foot, you're going to take a penalty for it. I like it. I have nothing. I think they're great great entry-level starter trucks. I've never owned an Anthem. I think they're pretty sexy looking, but we had at one time 4 Pinnacles, and they were all, I don't think any of the guys regret using them for starter trucks. So, and it's like anything else. They have their known issues, about 600,000 miles, injectors and cups. Just like any other truck, you're going to have a water pump here and there. You're going to have starter, alternator. That's going to be any truck. And then there's a couple hoses that are known for having problems. So you just got to secure them. There's coming off the surge tank, going over the right side of the engine. It's got these little tiny hoses for return lines, and they're known to break. I don't know. Are they perfect? No, but great way to get started. Driving with John says, what happened to the old saying, treat others like you like to be treated? We canceled that. We canceled that. Trucking with T-Bone. Good morning. Morning to you. 404 Trucker Dave. Hello. Wimpy McPote. Saw a great name yesterday on the side of their truck. Rocket Science. Rocket Science Trucking. There you go. Split Shift. Thanks for the info you bring. Well, thanks for participating. With Both Feet says, hey, y'all, how's things? Things are not bad. They're not great. They're not bad. I'll be honest, I'm almost ready to talk about this. I've had some bad experiences lately, and it's not due to, like, financially I'm doing fine. Okay. Are we killing it? No. I had some other bad experiences lately, and one I've been dealing with for some time. I haven't talked about it because of I'm not in the place to talk about it, and plus for legal reasons, but I'm about ready to. So maybe that's going to be its own live stream because it's a whole thing. So how am I doing? We're okay. I've been in a bad place for a while. That's partially why I've been absent from YouTube. Xload 3D, going to try to squeak out a few weeks and get out of Dodge because I can already tell the whole week of Independence Day the freight is going to be non-existent, especially with landing on a Thursday. Yeah, notice the holidays aren't where you catch a banger load anymore. We're not in that market. It's probably going to be real bad traffic too. They said Memorial Day had the highest traffic in the last 20 years. Wow. Wonder why that is. Can people not afford to fly? Is that a thing now? I'm not a flyer, so I don't know. Oh, Sterling Wheel, the super chat. Sorry, buddy, I didn't see that. Thank you. $12 super chat. Jackknife is our brother. Being mechanically inclined and experienced in all types of freight trucking, he deserves positive reinforcement. There you go. There you go. Doesn't everybody? Doesn't everybody? Especially when you start to see hints of that person being in a bad place. You don't want to be the person to pile on that. You don't. We had another super chat. Hold on. Freight trucking. Thank you, sir. Watch your words. Some of us didn't buy into the Cascadia scam. I will say, Cascadia's #1 truck to, hit a curb and not break an axle. Or what the hell did we break? Suspension springs? I don't remember. Stronger front end. We'll put it that way. Stronger front end. Wimpy McPote not running the same roads over and over unless it's out west with some scenery. Okay. See, everybody says to me, oh, you run the same all the time. Isn't that boring? In my opinion is, in trucking, boring is good. Excitement in trucking is usually bad. I like a good old boring day trucking. Snorler says, I can teach you how to weld. Okay. Okay. Track podcast in the house. That's how you doing? I think that's Dirty Broke. Everybody check that out. Come on with it. It says all about the net, baby. Okay. Cents per mile says, now I feel guilty for pulling up to the Joplin Chrome shop. But you got the money. You got money like that. I know you. Come on with it says, does lizard juice come in a 55-gallon drum? I use it as fuel stabilizer. I will check Amazon, and if I find one, I will post a link. Use my Amazon link. There you go. Sterling Wheel says a big new truck payment needs to run team. 10 hours of sitting every day is cost prohibitive with a $8,000 a month truck payment. Yes, it's hard. It's what we call a large fixed cost to overcome every month just to make your nut. Stand by 1 second. I just got to look at my emails, make sure everything's okay here. It's a business day. We're good. Back to that. What was the question I was going to answer? Maybe it was in my head and nobody actually asked it. All right, back to the failing thing for just a second. One of the things that I've experienced lately, and I'm not going to get too deep into this out of respect for other people, is your home life. Snorlord and I have talked about this a lot. People getting ready to be an owner-operator, and one of the first things we ask them, what's your home life like? What's your expenses? What's your situation? You got, kids, you get visitation every weekend. You got to be home every other weekend. You got a needy wife. What do you got going on, right? And recently encountered somebody who was had a tough time at home. Illness, a family member, and trying to stay an owner-operator through this when it was very clear they needed to not be an owner-operator for a while because they needed to be home and no financial position to be home, had to be out running. You got to ask yourself, what do I love more, this truck or my family? Or what do I got going on at home? Because this person was being combative with me, saying, I just have to be an owner operator. I just can't drive a company truck. I have to be an owner operator. It's just what I have to do. I'm like, you picked your pony. You picked that truck over your family. And that is, I'll just call it straight up stupid. Never do that, because your family needs you right now, and you're doing everything you can to keep this truck when you should be going the other way and doing everything you can to make sure your family's okay. Going through some major stuff. The owner operator thing wasn't working out anyway, but that priority was I just have to be an owner operator. That's how I have to do it. That's damn foolish right there. There's a time and a place for everything, and there's things that are more important than others. That's some bad priorities right there. Come on with it says things that cannot be bought: loyalty, reliability, longevity. Let's add to that my love and affection. Cannot be bought. It can be rented. I will make a short-term arrangement for you on those things, but it cannot be bought. What if I change my name to Rich? I don't know. Being humble and teachable, always looking to learn more is the key. Yeah. Jackknife, you watching? Come on in. Come on in. I know you got the link. I know you said you'd be a few minutes, about 10 minutes, but it's 43 minutes now. So let's get this thing going here. Shannon Thomas, good morning. Good morning, Shannon. Good morning, Shannon. John is correct. Yes. This Truck and Life says these mega carriers probably going to take all soon. They're sponsoring charter buses at the border. Yeah. Don't make any mistake of thinking the megas are not struggling right now, too. They are. The difference is, well, a lot of differences. So don't be, that ain't bull. That's the problem. Publicly traded, they can raise money very quickly to get through most situations. We can't necessarily do that. Snorlord, thumbs up. Jose, thumbs up. All right. WCF says, amen to that, DIY. I hate Go Highway. Yeah. I know somebody in particular that hates them real bad, and they're keeping track of everything, and they've asked me to do the same. I prefer the company Go on the Highway. Camo. Oh, the thumbs up was for people that hate Highway. Go Highway app, whatever. Do all yourselves a favor and go into your ELD. If you gave Highway access to your ELD, Do yourself a favor and go in there and disable that. They are providing too much information. Some of it may be inaccurate. Mr. 386 with the thumbs up. Okay. Tell me more about your scat, please. My scat? Did I spell that wrong? No, it's a scac. You silly boy. My standard carrier alpha code. Silly boy. Steering wheel says, ew. Okay. CDN Freight Broker says, we should have a call regarding highway. Email me when you have time and I will share perspective just so you get the whole picture. Knowledge is power. I understand. We've talked about that. Trust me. I'm all for. I understand the broker side of the fraud. I understand what's going on. I understand why they need the information. I am perfectly willing to share whatever I need confidentially with broker partner to get set up. Send pictures, big trucks, registrations, all for it. The problem is Go Highway has provided some inaccurate information about my company to brokers. Not information I don't want them to have, straight up. Not true, not accurate. Apparently apparently there can be more than one person in this world with your name and have a similar type address, similar type information. They don't vet the information that they're giving. And some of these brokers, they just go with the information they're providing. Shame on them for doing that. They should qualify the information. They should look into it. Some of them just straight up, nope, I'm not going to do business with you. Okay, well, you're an idiot. But really, if Highway is providing that information as a service, they should vet the information to make sure it's correct. That's where I stand on that. Marty Sainamore says, I'm a champion at MIG welding. Hold my beer. Okay. Who MIG welds beer cans? Oh, I agree. Am I making a quilt? I am not. I've been seeing 2020 anthems with 300,000 miles for $45,000 to $50,000. That's a good price. That's a good price. I know the Anthem, better fuel economy than the Pinnacle. Anthems have had their problems. I know certain years they were having some electrical problems. Never owned one, so don't want to speak too much of it. Chiop Tank and Surge are merging. New company is Surge Tank. Oh, you got me. They're under a lot of pressure, and I think they're full of it. Come on. Oh, come on with it. Joke of the day. There you go. How do you pin a comment? I don't know how to pin your comment. We'll just give it a star instead. My damn thingamabig here keeps tipping over. Once again, Freight Trucking with a super chat. Appreciate that. Thank you for the Cascadia videos. I already changed a coolant level sensor. There you go. I forgot to make a video about now. See that truck? I needed to make one more video about it, and I just sent it away with the driver. Incidentally, the driver with that Mac just upgraded to that Cascadia. So now I have the Mac back and he's in the Cascadia. But there's one video I forgot to make about that. So let me tell the story. Instead, I bought that truck and I was, boy, that truck has a history. The person that gave me one of my really bad experiences was in that truck, and then he was ceremoniously no longer here. And I was driving that truck. Well, started getting an outlet knock sensor code. I can read that code, ELD and all that. So I take it into Freightliner. They confirm, yes, this is the exact code for the outlet knock sensor. I says, let's do both knock sensors because I like to do them in pairs. The outlet knock sensor is the more difficult of the two. So whatever. At any rate, let's do both knock sensors. Replace both knock sensors. Comes out of the shop. No more codes. Driving it 3 days later. Outlet knock sensor code. Son of a biscuit. And it's not a code related to knock. It's the code 303524 or something like that. It's a 4-digit code that starts with a 3. It's that sensor. Damn it. I'm like, screw it. For now, I'm just gonna keep driving it. If it shuts me down, I'll deal with it. Just kept driving it. And then I don't know, a week later, repeatedly I'm getting this random knock sensor code. A week later, all of a sudden the truck goes into shutdown. I'm like, damn it. So I go and read the codes, and well, first on the dash, it says low coolant level. So I'm like, crap. Then I just blow a hose, pull on the truck stop, and pop the hood. Everything's just peachy keen fine. Like, all right, well, that's obviously then low coolant sensor. So that's when I made that video about replacing that low coolant sensor. For the life of me, I don't know why, but once I replaced that low coolant sensor, never got another outlet knock sensor code. Completely unrelated to each other. And if you'd have told me that was going to be the case, or they were somehow related, I'd tell you you're an idiot. Replace that coolant level sensor. That outlet knock sensor code has not returned. Now, are they on the same circuit? Don't know. Not familiar with the internal wirings of the Freightliner 2019 Freightliner Cascadia. But that code has not come back. So, I mean, someday if you're getting this code, or if similar things happens to you, replace that sensor and the code comes back. If you want to say, you know what, I have $35 burning a hole in my pocket and I'm willing to try, knowing that I could be completely wasting my money, I'm willing to throw $35 down the drain, get that low coolant level sensor and just see if that helps. That's terrible advice, but for $210 an hour at a shop rate, and them probably not guessing any better than you are at a certain point, I might be willing to piss away $35 and replace the low coolant sensor. Don't know why. Don't know why. If somebody can, Sterling is mechanically inclined and whatnot, he could probably maybe tell me, but it did happen. So Lance Calhoun says you have the Mac, your Mac have the Volvo engine. Well, it's the MP8. It's the same engine as the D13, just different electronics. Most of the parts are interchangeable. In fact, last time I needed a water pump, it was a Volvo water pump. And what else? I don't know. There was a couple other things. Yeah, it's essentially the same engine. Turbo, the last turbo. We had to put a turbo on it. And when it came time, we couldn't get the Mac part number turbo. So we just put the Volvo turbo on. They're the same thing. Alex Foley says, I've been down since Monday. Radiator blew out on me 150 miles from Laredo. Woo, damn it. Was going to get it fixed right after that. I delivered, but couldn't quite make it. Yeah, them radiators will get you. Radiator went out on my gray Freightliner on I-64 between Beckley, West Virginia, and over by 81. Halfway in between there by Lewisburg, Lewistown, Louisville? I think it's Lewisburg, Virginia. Right in that area. Tell me that's an area you want to break down. Oof, not really. Grumpy Trucker, when are you going to make a new Trucker Money video? Need to buy new stocks. Yeah, I need to. I don't really have time anymore. As much as I say I'm going to keep trying to do it. And also, I'm tired of the ridicule and the shitty comments I get on it, telling me what a piece of crap I am. This last comment I got really, I don't know, you catch somebody on the wrong day at the wrong time. That's what it was. Caught me at the wrong time. Just really pissed me off for the rest of the day about how you stupid Midwesterners are part of the problem. Instead of putting money into Pfizer, ruining the world and the country, you should be putting money into small businesses and this and that. I'm like, and you that's what I would expect from an upper Midwesterner, and you people are part of the problem. What's wrong with this country? I'm like, you presume to know an awful freaking lot about me. Obviously blocked. Don't care. I usually have thicker skin than that, but sometimes you just catch a guy on the wrong day. Just saying. Swamp Girl 69 says, hey, good morning. How are you today? Welcome. I don't know where Jackknife is. He should have been here by now. He said he was coming in, so hopefully he shows up. Midlife Trucker, Too many believe company driver is somehow beneath lease operator or even owner operator. Oh, couldn't be further from the truth. I know a lot of company drivers that have great lives. They have a lot of money saved for retirement. They got to be part of raising their kids. They're perfectly happy. It's not, I've always said getting into being an owner operator or a lease operator, if you're doing it just because you think you're going to make more money, it's probably not the best reason. You might make more money. There's the opportunity to make more money. Son, there ain't no guarantee you're going to make more money. You might make a lot less, but I just like doing it. I love being self-employed. I am, oh, probably take heat for this. I'm willing to take less money to be self-employed. I just like being self-employed. There may come a day when I don't like being self-employed anymore. And then I'll go be employed for somebody else. Or guess what? I won't be employed at all. Maybe we'll retire. I don't know. CDN says, I've seen a comment on your previous live saying the carrier is laying off owner operators. What? Why? Owner operators finance their own equipment and are 100% commission. That company is having big struggles. Yeah, you never know what's going on with the company. I did respond back to that guy today. Maybe they feel a duty, more of a duty to their employees. Maybe it's an equipment thing. Maybe they're financing that equipment. Not all owner operators finance their own equipment. Believe it or not all are 100% commission. Some are mileage based. So they may have decided that they made a bad deal for themselves. Their margin may be higher on the company drivers. Could be a whole lot of things. So, I don't even know what company he worked for, to tell you the truth. Insult investor in the house says, hey, how you doing? If you have failed at trucking like I have failed at working for others as a mechanic, then do like me and get a sailboat and sail off into the sunset. Oh, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the open water. I will say that. Daddy's Belt says, I'm at the point with my wife's health, I have to give it up. Good on you for realizing that. Hey, your wife is more important to you than the truck. That's a respectable position. I know people that have ridden this thing into the ground when their wife was sick and they needed to be home. And I'm like, eesh. You might find yourself by yourself. You know what I mean? Lose half your Social Security, everything. Some of us can't even afford sailboat fuel. Oh. This XL Load says, yeah, it did say that on the short. It didn't say SCAC. No, I'm looking at the title. It says, what is SCAC code? SCAC. Oh, did the AI speech thing say SCAT? That's an AI program. You put a short into that and it does the subtitles. It must have said SCAT instead of SCAC. That's funny. Hey, I make SCAT videos. What can I say? I make German SCAT videos for money. My name's Adam. I make SCAT videos. AI SCAT videos, nonetheless. Grumpy Old Trucker says, driving with John said, wake up and watch your show today. Oh, I don't know that it was worth getting up for. My special guest didn't even show up. How about that? Let me text him. Say, you coming? Are you coming in? That's too bad. I really wanted to talk to him and help. I don't know. Did he upgrade to the Cascadia or downgrade? Oh, come on now. I don't know. He went from he was a little heavy on the pedal. So 6.5 to 8 miles per gallon plus an APU I should say an APU that works plus double the cab space and a double bunk. And he went from 50% smile to 100% smile. So I'd say he upgraded. XL Load says, so wait, is there an easy way to ensure no information from my ELD is being shared? Well, it depends on your ELD's company and their policies, but if you ever used Highway, chances are you agreed to let them access your ELD information. And there are other companies, but like, who are some of the other ones? Project 44, they misuse your information, in my opinion. But there's some of them just using, location. I'm willing to share my location with a broker customer because it's their product. I don't feel bad about letting them know where it's at, but they don't need to know my intimate company details and details that ain't even me. Ain't even me. Maybe a shared ground wire. What are we talking about here? On those sensors? Okay, yeah, there you go. Maybe it was in the plug on the sensor. I don't know because it just went away. I was getting NOx code as well with low coolant light, changed all and no issues since. Okay. One thing on a Cascadia that is shared is the water pump with the oil pressure circuit. When one or the other fails, shutdown occurs. Okay. I know all these things, they got a lot of body controllers on them. Maybe they are in a shared body controller. I would assume that each body controller would have its own ground. I don't know. Its own power supply to that particular controller. I'm just taking shots in the dark. They're all on a bus with connected grounds. If one shorts to positive inside, it'll throw codes. You would think, though, it would show up in other places, though, wouldn't you? Instead of just one particular specific. I don't know. Exactly. Okay. I run hydraulic fluid in my radiator instead of coolant. Whew. I don't know that I can support that, Marty Sainamore. Hey, DOI and cash are the comedy relief. There you go. Continuous sensor failures led me directly to ground issue first. Okay. It's tough being a solo owner operator. We barely make it as a team owner operator. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for everybody. Doesn't mean it ain't worth doing. Cheap freight hauler says, I have failed at most things I've done. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. I talk about something missing in trucking is gratitude. I find myself getting pretty sour every now and then. Just yesterday, I'm walking around. I'm like pissed off. I was a pissy mood yesterday. I had a headache, and I'm like, you know what, asshole, you got a pretty good life. You don't want for anything. You have everything you need. Do I have everything I want? Yeah, I don't want a lot, so probably it's not a lot that I want. You're not hungry. You're fed. You got a great wife, good place to live. You're relatively healthy. Shut the hell up, you whiny bitch. It's pretty what I had to tell myself. And I gotta do that every now and then. Alex Foley, I knowingly took a pay cut to go owner op. I might make more than I was in a year or two. I just enjoy being self-employed. Yeah, it can be very rewarding. You can get a lot of satisfaction out of it. I love that reason, just because you know what? I like being self-employed. I like being in charge of my own, to an extent, in charge of your own destiny. If I don't want to work today, I don't have to. If I manage my own tax situation, I plan, have slightly more say in my outcome. Cheap Freight Hauler says clipped that one too. Okay. What are you guys clipping? The scat video? Marty says paying the foreigners in money from their countries, US dollars. Don't know about that one. Def quality sensor code. Peterbilt says it's the Lambda sensor. Another shop says it's the def sending unit, but no one is sure. Peterbilt wants 3,000. It's crazy. Yeah, and it probably won't get fixed. We had that. What did we have? We had that on this Mac. The very first Mac we got kept throwing that code. And I don't remember what it was that we did to fix it. It was a module. AHI. I shouldn't have anything. I'd have to go back in the records and see, because I don't think that code came back after we fixed that one particular issue. Poor quality def. We were getting that a lot, and it would shut the truck down. But it didn't have anything to do with the def. It was a bad sensor or module somewhere. I just can't for the life of me remember what it was. And if you got a Cummins, the Mac and the Cummins share a lot. I think the Mac uses a lot of the after treatment system design and parts from Cummins. So maybe, but if you have a Packard, I have no freaking idea. Everything in trucking is a lateral move. Hashtag facts. Hashtag truth. Hashtag lateral. CDN Freight Broker says, great show. It would be greater if my guest showed up. Let's see if he texted me back. 1 second, I was in an interview. Ooh, interview. Now we're gonna get some good inside information. I've heard the new Freightliner Cascadias 2020 and up have less sensor problems. Things changed in, what the hell was it, 17, 18? When they went to that, what the hell do you call it? You call it a common bus? Instead of the, having this, that, and then your freaking stuff. Oh, there's my guest, just beeped in my ear. We'll come back to the comments momentarily. What's up?
Hey, what's up? I was in an interview. Sorry.
Oh, good interview, bad interview? Do tell.
Pretty good, I guess. It's going to take a while, though, to get in here. It's for Caterpillar.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty much booming engines in and out of haul trucks and stuff.
Wrenching, mechanicing, and whatnot?
Some of that, a little bit. But mostly just lifting the heavy pieces up and, bringing them back to the shop.
Okay. So you sound better today.
Yeah, I'm in a little bit better mood, I guess you could say. It's still...
Can you confidently say you have decided not to cancel your prescription to breathing?
Cancel a prescription to what?
Breathing? You're not going to do
that? Yeah, I decided not to cancel a prescription to breathing, yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's baby steps, right?
Yeah, pretty much. The big thing, though, now is they don't want to take this truck back.
Well, they're going to get it back one way or another, whether they want to or not, I think, right?
That's what I'm basically thinking now.
Yeah.
It's going to have to go back one way or another. I don't know why they just won't come get it. And for some reason, they keep trying to be like, oh, we can work with you. We can work with you,
Because
and I'm like,
they know they can't resell it. In this
market, I guess that's pretty much it.
They probably got a lot full of 100 of them sitting there that they can't sell, and they don't want one more. So if they take less money for it to keep it out of their lot, it's probably better for them.
Well, right now, I can't really do anything until I get rid of this truck, just about. Like where I'm sticking it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I could probably leave it sit for a while. I can't sit here for like months,
Okay.
And that's the biggest hurdle I'm finding right now is the truck. Now I'm not only do I have all my other problems to deal with, but I also have this truck now that I'm stuck with.
Yeah, that's what, honestly, that'll be one of your easier problems to solve. They're not the government, right? That's the bigger of the problems. They can't put you in jail, right?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of it won't feel good. I don't know. I saw your last few videos. I saw you on Sterling's show, and I went and watched your last few videos, and I looked at the comments, and I'm like, it's kind of bullshit the way people are treating you and what the things that they're saying to you, and just kind of.
I haven't really read much of them.
Well, you don't need to. In fact, you should probably just turn the comments off on those few videos. You don't need to hear what people have to say. People are just being shitty, and they don't need to be that way. Like at the end of the day, you're a person. We don't know each other that well. We're not close, but I hate to see people talking shit to you as a person when you're going through enough.
Well,
You're going through enough.
at this time, I'm pretty much just worried about like my kids and stuff. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean,
Like I could really care less as long as I can keep some kind of financial income coming in. That's the
you're
way I see it.
you're gonna be okay. I mean, go back to the Dave Ramsey thing. What would he say to do? Separate it out into pieces of, well, these are the things I have to take care of. My family, my house, my child support, so I can continue to work. Everything else is just gonna have to wait.
Yeah, well, I don't think the government's really worried about me too much because they haven't really sent me many, anything crazy.
No, and
Mostly,
over time, as long as you didn't commit any criminal activity, like filing a false return or whatever, they'll wait for their money. They'll just accrue it, and maybe someday you can get an offer in compromise. All these idiots saying, "Oh, file bankruptcy." Guess what, you dummy? These things aren't bankruptable.
well, I can file bankruptcy. It'll take care of the SBA loan.
Have you read the fine print on that? Is that bankruptable?
Yeah, it is
Okay.
because it's not. There's no assets, so it's all just personal guarantee. You know, um, the technically the taxes up until 3 years of your last filing are bankruptable. But I'd still be stuck with the last 3 years, which would be the last 3 years of this. So it would only really knock off a year or two, off of the taxes, or actually, no, it would knock like 4 or 5 years of taxes off. And I'd still be stuck with taxes,
You probably don't owe that much though. With what that truck cost, in your first few years, you can take, more depreciation up front if you're worried about certain
The big
years.
problem is I don't the paperwork and stuff. I didn't do a good job of keeping any of that crap. Like I mean, they'll probably take it as it is. I don't think they're going to audit it, but
If you get a good tax attorney, you probably want a tax attorney at this point to say,
yeah.
what, go back and recreate this, use industry norms, be conservative.
Well, the one I got, I paid already for, and except they want $10,000.
It's not the end of the
And
world.
I only paid like a quarter of them.
Yeah.
So
I mean, penalties on $10,000 is what, $20,000? Interest and penalties.
yeah.
I bet
Well, no, the taxes, technically the taxes, I owe about 32 from 2020 and 2019, or no, 2020, and the other ones I haven't filed yet, so I still got to file. Like it's a big disaster DIY, really it is.
But
Adam,
I understand. At the end of the day, though, it's
to be honest,
your family's.
oh, I know. To be honest, really what I did is I basically told taxes to go fuck themselves and just didn't have enough time to file. And then when COVID really came, that really, with the tax person I was using and everything, that really fucked a lot of shit up. Because they didn't want to, they just like fell off the face of the earth once COVID really got going, as they didn't want to do anything. I guess they were afraid they were going to get killed or something, and then at that time, I was really just worried about trying to keep the business going, and the two guys I had employed, going. I don't know. It's just been like a shit show. After when one thing collapsed, I just went into another one. Like emergency mode without really thinking, just jumping into stuff.
I mean,
instead of
just to rule out the worst case. I mean, you didn't do anything criminal, right? With
no,
okay,
no, except for not file.
I mean, that's you make, is it willful? Was it what? You'll be okay there. A lot of people do that. It's going to work itself out. You're probably going to come through it and be like, this ain't half as bad as I thought it was. It's not fun. It's not fun to go through. It's really, and I understand your situation, but you know, and this show isn't about you. It's about, you're hearing a lot of this, and people are just being, for lack of a better word, being shitty to each other, man. And it doesn't help. It doesn't help. But don't don't stop sharing your experience. Who cares what people think? You might make the difference for somebody else. Keep somebody else.
Well, yeah, I'd really like want to put it out there. Like, if you're gonna get into this, make sure you have your ducks in a row. Don't just whimsically go about, treating this like it's just something easy to do. It's a business, and you're gonna make lots of money in it, because it could really turn around and bite you in the ass. All you have to do is, technically, miss one thing or get audited, and while you're still trying to run your business, you got all this other stuff going on in the background, that nobody really thinks about. And it's hard to devote all your time and energy to stuff like that. It you're just pulled in so many different ways. It's easy to let shit go and get screwed up and just say F it, I guess you could say.
Right. So it's nobody can sit here and call you stupid. I mean, you knew. It just wasn't high priority of things to do at the time, right?
COVID really is what screwed everything up real bad for me.
Okay.
So, and then just doing stupid stuff afterwards, trying to regain the, I don't know, the money I was making, or at least try to keep that up, or keep some kind of a business going, per se.
I think a lot of people are wondering and are too afraid to ask. So I'll just come out and ask you, because I think there's some people that would do it. Was any of this for YouTube? Just
What?
for YouTube? Like, I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna get this truck, or I'm gonna do these certain things to grow a YouTube channel or get more views?
Not really. It was mostly just to keep going, really.
Okay.
It just, it made YouTube, I guess. It was just something to do. Try to, fill in time and keep my head off of other things, I guess.
No, and full disclosure, I'm guilty of that. I bought a whole truck for YouTube and then just let it sit there in my driveway and didn't do anything with it. So I'm not throwing stones here. I've done that myself. So where are you at right now? Like, if you sound a lot better today than you have in your last few. Man, I was worried about you. I'm like, this guy, like.
I've calmed down, I guess, a little bit. I kind of realized, the predicament I'm in, and me freaking out and isn't gonna help anything. I need to be calm, cool, and conservative, and
yeah. And I also, it scared me a little bit that the dollar amounts you were talking about is something that, for most people, until you've experienced, is something you couldn't even wrap your head around. You talk about it like it's just a number, but when you're talking that kind of money, that's
I know that
stress in real life.
I'm not trying to, like, the people. A lot of people are trying to be nice and tell me I'm going to be able to get out of it and stuff. But I mean, to be honest, realistically, like, my life technically is going to forever be changed from the actions that I did here. Like, I don't know if they'll start trying to go after my wages and whatnot, because at a certain point, it's just not going to be feasible for me to live, technically, I guess you could say. Like, I still have child support payments. I'm going to have to start,
Right.
taking care of and everything else. And
yeah, I mean, that's probably priority number 3 behind, feed and take care of your family, right? Keep them in a house.
Yeah.
And then number 2 would be pay your child support so you don't go to jail.
Because, to be honest, at this point, I mean, really, if I look at it, like, realistically, in my future, I might be in prison, for all I know. Yeah.
No, I think you can keep it from going there. You can damn sure keep it from going there. But
Well, this.
IRS will wait. I mean, they'll accrue penalties and interest, but they'll wait. The truck people, screw them. I mean, do you want to do that? But no, you don't. But you don't have any other choice but to turn the truck back and just say, "Well, come and get it." There's nothing here that I can do. This is my only option, and sorry this happened to you, but hey, you're just gonna have to. Here's where it's at. Come and get it, or it'll sit there for the next 20 years. I don't know. Or take it to them, whatever, if you can. There's really nothing you can do about that. And don't let that. I mean, you got more important things to worry about. You don't want to lose your current family over this, right?
No.
That's number one. You know, you need them. They need you. Money should not tear apart a relationship ever. And number two is your other kids. Take care of them. So you can continue to work and do the right thing, and then everything else it'll get taken care of in time. You know, doesn't mean you're less of a person. Don't beat yourself up. Just say, I made some mistakes, and don't run away from them. Address them one at a time as you can, and that's all you can do. Doesn't mean you failed. Doesn't mean you're a failure, right? You failed.
Yeah.
That's not a dirty word. Not throwing stones at you. Just because you failed at this doesn't mean you have to be a failure for life. That's the choice you have, right there. Say, you sound kind of defeated. It sounds like you're going down that path. And I'm going to tell you, don't worry about that. Don't say I'm a failure for the rest of my life because this happened to me. So I failed at this. I'll address it, work it off as I can. But it doesn't mean I'm a failure or I failed, my family or whatever. Just it's a money thing. I understand. Believe me, I feel what's going through your head right now. Haven't been there on that level, but
To be honest, it's not like even when I thought when things were going good for me, because I guess I kind of felt this way. No, maybe not that bad, but when COVID hit and everything, and I had the truck sitting. I had guys that were sitting, and I actually paid them for at least like 2 or 3 weeks, just because it was only supposed to be 15 days to stop the spread.
Mhm.
And because as soon as it happened, it was like the utility companies didn't want anybody else from outside on their property, so we couldn't make deliveries. I don't know what they were doing, but I guess they just weren't putting poles in, and it just I kind of remember feeling a little bit like that before, but like I thought, oh, it was only 15 days, I could survive this, and then it went longer, and it turned into total BS. And that's when I shut the authority down and everything else.
Sterling has a good question because it's good mostly because it's attached to a $5 super chat. But he says, we have watched Jackknife through his struggles, and many of us have given good advice. Will he follow through? Sterling gave you some really good advice the other day. I got to hand it to him.
Well, I know I definitely got to get out of this truck because I just did a load here the other day, and they said the only load they had for me was a 2-stop load in Newark and Bronx, New York. And I went to it was a Maricold in Newark, something provisions, right off 95 and 80 there, and John Street. And I get there, and of course there's no parking. I had to sit in a spot where it was the buses. I had to keep moving for the buses so they could park. So I didn't get really any sleep, sitting there waiting because I had to keep moving for buses so I could, stay out in front of this place to make the delivery. And I get in there, I make the delivery, waited for the lumper call, did all the typical reefer BS. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, when am I going to be able to fall asleep here? Like, when can I get some sleep? And they ended up keeping me I checked in at about 9 o'clock because I got there a little early. And they got me in about 2 hours early for my appointment, but they ended up keeping me until about 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, for 8 pallets. And then I had to go over through all the traffic there, over the GW Bridge, over into the Bronx. And what was it? Nebraska land meats I ended up delivering to. And that I was there all day for that too. I checked in at 7. I was there till they didn't get me out of the door until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
So I got a question for you. I just heard that story. Can you take 1 minute and tell me a story about your kids?
About my kids?
Mm-hmm. All right, let me already stop you, okay? And this. Damn it, I hate this. Let me share part of me being human for a second. I wish this part would die because I don't want to have feelings. Your identity has become trucking, dude.
Yeah, pretty much.
You got trucking stories off the top of your head, and when I said, hey, tell me a story about your kids, you had to really stop and think about it. And I'm not picking on you. I'm pointing this out as an illustration because everybody watching, including myself, my wife will say, you need to listen to this, you asshole. Your whole life identity has become trucking. So is mine. My wife will straight up tell me that, but she ain't afraid to freaking tell me right to my face. That has to change. Like I guarantee you, tell me if I'm right. As the day goes through, the only things going through your head are trucking and how do I fix this? And what am I doing? I'm doing this with that.
Well,
right.
I will say the only time I had like a better home time life is when I did have my authority and had the 2 other employees. Because if I wanted to take a day off or do something, if there was a football game or something I had, wanted to show up to, or a baseball game, I could always park the truck and know that there was still going to be income coming in, and go and do that.
Maybe
now it's pretty much like I'm locked away in the truck nonstop, working for the truck. Even when I had the other truck that was only like a $900 a month payment, on the weekends and stuff, when things would break, it would be me in the truck all the time.
Maybe then the thing to do is, it's not a possibility now, but you could work back to getting into that situation again someday. We work through this and get back to that. It sounds like you had a better work-life balance. Right? Maybe that's not possible, but I guarantee you learned a lot of things going through this, and you'll learn even more in the next few months going through all this. But then you got to be willing to say, "Whew, man, I can't do that again." I know, we had these conversations way back when you're getting into this, Kenworth, this or that, or the finances of it. But maybe next time it's like, okay, I can't get into $1,000 a week truck.
No, I would, to be honest, after this, I think if I can get out of this and get away from this truck that like I feel trapped in now, or trapped with, like I said, I'm just gonna try to just get something where I'm local, like where I'm home, like this job right here. It's like 35 an hour, and it's from 7 to 3:30 with paid lunch and paid break and everything.
Might be the best thing, because this trucking thing, especially with what you're going through, this situation that you're going through, it'll consume you if you let it, bro.
And the thing about it is, I know that there has to be other owner operators out there that have done the same thing, that are back on taxes, or haven't filed taxes. Like I can only imagine, because you watch these guys out here, and you can see some of their mentality and what they're doing, and like I don't know, it has to be rampant, I would actually imagine, in the industry. Just nobody talks about it.
It is, and I've had several drivers that I've brought on. We have these conversations. I'm like, you gotta get right with the government. Like, you will, or you won't work here, because eventually it comes back to me. Come asking questions, and I can have a part of that. But don't worry about what they do. Screw them. It's part of like personal development, right?
I just don't. To be honest, like if I look at I know this is doesn't really matter to me, like right now. I mean, like per se. But if you look at the industry as a whole, like I just don't see. Though there's a lot more than just the industry as a whole too. I could say that there's problems with, but I just can't see everything continuing the way it is.
No, but that doesn't do you any good in the moment.
No, I mean it. Like it doesn't really matter to me anyway. Like I said, I'm already at the end of the rope per se.
Yeah, just don't let it like consume you, and because you'll become that. It'll become you, and the only thing in your life will be this situation, and it'll drive away relationships. Like if you let me like you are in, I understand the magnitude of the situation you're in, especially if it really is the dollar amounts you're talking about, right? If you look, if there were statistics on this, I'm making this up, but I guarantee you that the amount of money involved in the situation that you're in, 98% of marriages would not make it through this situation, right? You got to be like, damn it, that ain't gonna happen to me.
Well, I will say that my wife is very supportive, maybe a little naive, and she doesn't, I don't think, understand the total gravity of the situation. But she's basically like, well, we've already made it this far. And she's like, you're still here. Nobody's beating on our door.
Maybe she's the wisdom and the calming that you need. Right?
And I could just see,
right.
like, I can see, like, even in the house and stuff, being away, she needs some help at the house with the kids and stuff. And the kids need me. Like me doing this isn't really, there's other things more important than trucking per se.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you right now. Don't lose everything that's about this. But see, this is where we teeter on, guys, of not piling on. It's like, does Jackknife recognize he made bad business decisions? I sure do. Well, so have I. So tell us lessons that you've learned from this. Have you? Because we're okay to talk about everything, right? Like,
Yeah,
there's no bad blood between you and I, right?
No, I don't have anything. No.
Can I ask you anything?
Yeah.
You don't have to answer. You can tell me to eat shit. You can tell me whatever you want to tell me. We're grown adults. So I don't watch because I choose not to participate. But people in YouTube were, oh, did you hear what this person said on this show? Did you see what this person said on that show? Now,
well, you have more things, important things to worry about.
Right, and I choose.
You don't have the time to be watching
besides
YouTube.
That, I don't want to be that guy, right? I'm asking on behalf of people. So people have said Jackknife TV is on this guy's James Best show talking shit about people, right? Or anybody else that this drama community has talked shit about. There's
that stuff gets carried away. That stuff gets carried away so easily. It's totally ridiculous. Really.
Do you think maybe
mostly just something to pass time?
We shouldn't do that. Maybe it is hurtful.
Yeah, it's stupidic.
Because I'm guessing. I'm going to guess. I don't know anybody's real name in real life, but most of the people leaving crappy comments are probably coming from that genre. And
I would imagine so.
And you don't. Do you need that right now?
No. I didn't even really know it even existed still, to be honest with you. I thought most of those people had something new to move on to, but I don't know. Maybe it's me, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody said somebody made a video about me. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
No, and you don't need to. But that's why we don't need to do those things in the beginning.
But to be honest, these same people, what the hell do they have to show?
Well, who cares?
And half the time they don't even show anything anyway. So you don't even know what the hell they're doing.
Exactly.
I mean, this is my life. I could care less about what's going on. Well, I can't say that because, to be honest, like if I found out something like when you were sick and stuff, I worried about you a little bit there, DIY.
I don't talk about most of my personal stuff. I've been sick.
I'm just saying, like, you're a pretty down to earth, nice person, and I know how you still feel about YouTube. YouTube is YouTube, but just in general, people still conversate and make connections and stuff.
Yeah, but like It's this whole YouTube trucking thing. Like, is there a YouTube carpenters community where they get together and talk shit about each other's hammers and tell people that you don't know a right angle from a roofing shingle? Like, does that exist? I know that like the farming community doesn't do that on YouTube, and
No, the trucking does.
why do we got to do that?
Just the type of people, the mentality. I would say probably a lot of it has to do with being locked away from people in a truck all the time. You start having different feelings about people and certain situations and things. Like I know a lot of people don't talk about it, but there's an actual trucking can put a mental strain on you.
Yeah.
All right. It locks you away from the world. And you almost get like tunnel vision, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And it just it doesn't help the way you interact with everyone around you.
Right. Well, it just like you don't need that right now. I hope people aren't behaving that way to you. You straight up say, I messed this up, messed that up, did this, did that. Just from the last few videos, you look like you're in a really bad place. And it's one thing to be in a bad place, but it's another thing to say the things you were saying. I mean, I seriously thought you were gonna, delete yourself there for a minute. Nobody would want to be a part of that. I wouldn't think.
I'm religious, so I mean that wouldn't really happen, I guess. But I mean it was pretty bad. And like most of it's from sitting in that truck, not around anybody.
Yeah. Adam Bennett's got it right. $10 super chat says, I'm going broke and I still hate all of you in this chat. Hashtag cancel fake trucking. Oh gosh, damn. You guys are funny. Well, I think a lot of people probably want to help. Some people probably want to pile on. I don't know. Who timed somebody out. I don't even see it in the chat. So whatever happened, I don't even know about it. Is there anything you would any cautionary tales you'd want to say or tell people?
Well, mostly everybody that's already in here is probably doing the right thing. I would hope so. You kind of have that like a good audience.
They are. They are.
And I guess if they're not and they're lying to themselves, it will catch up to you. Maybe not today or tomorrow, but eventually, years down the road, your actions and what you're doing with your business and stuff will catch up to you.
Yeah, and we all got to remember that. You talk shit in the good times. You may be on this end of it in the bad times, and then guess what? Everybody it's going to come right back to you, right? So we don't really need to do that. With both feet says Jackknife, you are where you're at. Make a plan, go from here, put your energy into the next right move, not the past prayers from here. Yeah, there's a lot of people that wish well for you and want to help you. Like, I hope you know that, right?
Yeah, no, I know that.
And sure, there'll be people that are vicious, but don't be afraid to reach out. I'm sure you know some of these people. I know some of these people. There's some really smart people in this community. There really is, man. You're not alone. Pray about it. Oftentimes our spouses, our wives, they offer good advice. Give a lot. Here's another way to look at it. This is what if I did this, here's what I would say to myself. Well, dipshit, you spent the last 5 years doing it your way, and this is where it got you. Let's see what the wife has to say. Maybe her way is better. And with my wife,
the wife kind of knew that I was behind and stuff. She didn't know how bad it was. I mean, she paid attention a little bit, but even now, she knew eventually it would catch up to me. I guess she just didn't think it would be as bad as it is.
What does she think? What does she want you to do? Like, what's her first step?
Well, she thinks she can take care of everything on her own because she's working. So, um, but if it was up to, she just wants me working. To be honest with you, she just wants an income coming in.
That's reasonable. I'd say let her try. She may have. You're another thing. You're too close to the situation. You're balls deep in it. Like, there's no way out of it for you. She's not much farther, but she's a little bit farther from it. She can look at it a different way. Maybe.
Well, like the house and everything is in her name. Like there ain't really. I mean, there's nothing they could come and take at this point. Like I don't. Technically we're not married. We aren't really married. We just call ourselves each other husband and wife. Because we both had divorces before, and we didn't kind of like want to get involved in all that again.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a shitty situation I got myself in. That's all.
It is. The differentiator is, what do you do from here, right? And you're so deep in it right now, it might be hard to see away. Maybe, you know what? Maybe you need to call the Dave Ramsey show. Talk to him.
I can imagine.
Just say it's like $1 million, so they pass you through. Oh boy, I'm way behind in the chat. Got caught up here. Sterling Wheel says deflection. Yeah, you know who your closest confidant through all this would probably be is Sterling. Sterling just went through something like this, and he's probably got some really good things. Have you two talked or just on YouTube?
Just on YouTube. I mean, I guess he probably has my email. I mean, I guess we could. The only real phone numbers I have is you and Scott. Scott called me, I guess, over Memorial. I haven't got back to him because I was, kind of in a bad place. But Scott called me and stuff. But I mean, like, I don't really want to like burden anybody with my, self pity or whatever you want to call it, per se. So
I got you. Well,
I mean, everybody else has their own problems,
Yeah, but I mean, there's people that care about you. They want to help, and you got to talk to somebody. Now, let's be honest. I don't need to hear it. No, I'm just kidding. You can't do anything alone. So, people are offering help. Reach out and then take the best of what everybody has to say and make your own decisions. Luzard, yeah, we're not here. He's not here asking for a fundraiser. We're not trying to collect any money. That's not what we're doing here.
Did he say he blew the government off for 3 years and owes $500,000?
I think that's a shot at you.
Oh, I was gonna say. Oh, okay, do a fundraiser. No, I wouldn't even bother trying to. What do you? Better be one hell of a fundraiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a shot at me, but
it's just an example.
Well, I know somebody right now that has a legitimate business, and they thought they did everything right, and they changed tax accountants, and they're in a not a similar situation, but they owe like $150,000 changing accounting firms for the last 3 years or whatever, or 2 years, and that's just because certain things weren't tallied the right way and things weren't paid right.
Listen, it's also a sign of maturity. Who was the guy a little bit ago saying, I got to get out of trucking because my wife has cancer, right? He can be very profitable. He could be running a great business. Guess what? His wife's got cancer. It's an easy decision. If I'm doing what I'm doing and next week I find out my wife's got cancer, guess where the hell I am? You may never hear from me again.
Yeah.
I'm doing what I'm doing. We're doing okay. If I have a massive heart attack next week, things happen. things happen. If I have a family member, like that's part of maturing and growing up. It's life. Some people haven't been through stuff. Some people have. Now, you acknowledge what is happening here is a culmination of your decisions and how you've done things. It's not like you're sitting here saying, "Oh, please help me, send me money because whatever." It's not what you're doing. It's totally different scenario. Totally different scenario. Now, we've talked, like we're face to face, we're man to man. I'm not gonna say this about you behind your back. Like we've talked, we've been on YouTube, we've exchanged. Like I've said that I didn't think you should buy the Kenworth. Other people have said that. Like I'm not sitting here saying I supported, and you're not saying here you made all the right decisions. But we're obviously not going to do it like behind each other's backs, right? We're grown adults.
Told you so.
No, I'm not sitting here. I said, I told you so. I'm like concerned about like this is real world shit where people you've seen during the stock market crash.
Well, even like
people throwing themselves off of fucking buildings.
If I thought, like, if I even had the older truck, and just, I mean, it doesn't right now in this environment that everybody finds themselves in. It doesn't take much for shit to go south. Everybody has that, like, probably little voice in the back of their head thinking that, what could happen that could cause me to, totally change my life right now.
Yeah, let me just address one quick comment here, because I think this is Winzard. I never seen you in my chat before. I have no idea who you are. I don't know you. Guess what? If you were really in a bad way and your family was about to suffer, and you were, I had seen a video. I don't even know if you have a channel. If I thought you were about to freaking delete yourself, I would try to stop you too. That's a certain point in life, drop the truck and bullshit and drop the drama, stop the drama, and be a freaking human being. That's another thing of your whole life and identity about trucking. Crying out loud, that's freaking sad. We're human beings, man. Knock it the hell off. Like, I don't know you. You could be a great guy. No idea. But it's like, why do you want to push somebody to that, man? That's disgusting. It's ridiculous. But maybe there's something wrong with me that I believe that. I don't know. And I'm not picking, like, I picked your comment at random. There's plenty of bad comments here I could have done that with. So I don't know you. But it's like, come on, man. It's all, we all have this thing where we're supposed to stick together and be a brotherhood and all get together and do this, and then certain first one's having a problem, we're gonna pile on his ass and drive him into the gutter.
Remember, only truckers with an 8th grade education will be able to have a trucking job here in 3 years.
You're lucky if any of us have a freaking job. You're lucky if any of us have a job. Speaking of people thinking they got it, they have to be the police of everything, and like you've been in some drama channels, right? You've been in some drama. You admit that, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I've gotten involved in it, not really trying, just basically showing up. Basically,
you have a choice going forward if that's what you do and you end up here, or if you embrace the people that. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about people in the chat. There's plenty of people want to help you, want to see you do good. Do you go that direction now? Like you can't. You've seen it from other people, and if I threw the name out there, you know what I'm talking about. You can't play both sides and have it both ways, because one of them is going to have a stronger influence on you than the other one. So you have a choice which path you're going to go down, and you can choose neither and say screw this and this ain't for me. You don't have to take anybody's help or listen to what anybody says, but you become who you hang out with, who you spend your time with, and where you put your energy, right? So
when you associate yourself with filth, you get dirty.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't know any of these people. I know probably 5 people from YouTube. So, man, I know Sterling. We've talked. He's really trying to help you, man. He really cares about you. So if you're looking for a sounding board or something or whatever, let them do that. But then you also, you can't hate on other people. You can't be involved in that, in that way with other people. So, consistency. So I really think you can get out of this. I think in the end it'll be not as bad as you think. If you focus on the things that are important, you'll be okay.
Take it one day at a time.
Yeah. And I hope anything I said didn't sound the wrong way to your lecture or whatever. But
no.
I would say the same thing to anybody. And even if I had a problem with them, you have a problem with each other, we should talk about it like face to face rather than behind each other's back, right? Now what?
I don't know. It's pretty much all that's been said has already been said.
Yeah. Well, you'll be all right. You got a pretty clean record, right?
For the most part, I guess, except for that Wisconsin ticket that I got like 2 years ago.
2 years ago, that'll be off your record soon.
Yeah, that I don't know what happened to that. I fought it and it got dropped down to a 0 to 10 or something dumb like that. But I don't know if it translated over or what happened with it. But
Okay.
I don't know. I guess I'll find out applying to places. So
yeah. Well, you might land outside trucking. Caterpillar's probably a good job. You know what?
It still involves trucking. I'm still going to be operating a Class B truck and doing things and stuff. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Buck Brown's another good example, like life-changing situation. And I guess like I don't really know you, Buck. I don't know what you participate in, but I bet you're very grown up now, and then you have a very different idea of things that are important to you and not important to you. And I bet you treat people a little bit different than you did a year ago at this time. But well, maybe don't even tell anybody where you went to work. It sounds like plenty of people are wishing you badly. So nobody even really needs to know.
I don't know. What do they think they're going to watch? Somebody delete themselves on YouTube? It'll be up for maybe a half hour.
Yeah, you're not really thinking that.
And what they could go watch, there's some guy that just what I think there's a video lying around. Some guy, supposed Trump supporter, I don't know, over here where I used to live, like went on a nut job spree, chopped his dad's head off or something. You can go watch that if you want. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Like, geez.
Sounds pretty final. Sounds pretty final.
I don't know. It just happened like a couple months ago.
Yeah. Damn, vicious. Y'all people are vicious, man.
Take the good with the bad.
I don't think I can have you on again. Brings out the hate in people. What'd you do?
Tag me in the title, I guess.
No.
No.
You're not.
Wow.
I just said, hey, be coming on.
Well, somebody must have brought everybody over.
Must be. That's okay. Hey, we'll take Hey, what did Howard Stern say? That people that hate you watch you longer than people that like you, right?
Yeah. They're more loyal listeners.
All right, John David, it's helpful. What would help you to recover from this right now? What could the Trucking Brotherhood, the dude, give you a hand after making some common minor mistakes? Well, that's
not minor.
That's his words, not mine. Other than somebody handing you a fistful of cash, which ain't gonna happen. What would help? What does help?
Just talking, I guess. To be honest with you, just knowing that there's other people out there that other people understand.
Yeah, if somebody just joined in, like I started at the beginning of this.
You know, it's funny.
This whole show is not about you.
there's a little store. There's a little store that I play the lottery at, and I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, man, I hope I win the lottery. I actually had some lottery tickets, and just so happens that little store last week sold $1 million lottery ticket.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's not me.
All right, somebody texted me wanting to ask you, and I'll ask you because we're cool. Wait, where did it go? What is your part in all this? What part of this do you acknowledge is
My fault?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, 110%. I mean, just ignoring problems as they came up and figuring that I would be making enough money to push through them. Like the COVID loan at that time when I took that out, I still had the 3 other trucks, the 2 employees, and the loan really wasn't that. It was only like $400 a month repayment plan. I would have never. I thought it was going to be easy to pay back. It took care of the taxes that I already had. I didn't plan on COVID lasting as long as it did.
Yeah, I hate the fact that the things are still being traced back to COVID, but I suppose it did happen. We all went through it. But what kind of, so here would be a learning experience for me. What kind of program or whatever did you get into for loan or grant or whatever for that? Is that something that's a part of this?
It was just an SBA loan that they literally sent me an email about it, because I guess they sent it right to my business email. They knew I had an LLC. I guess they probably sent an email out to everybody with an LLC.
So you took like a loan or what?
Yeah, it was a loan right through the Small Business Administration.
What kind of loan was it?
It's a non-secured.
Is that EIDL
so regular,
or whatever?
Huh?
Was that EIDL loan or whatever?
No, I think it was a different kind of loan. It was just to help you consider, like, to stay afloat. I forget what they call it. It wasn't the EID loan. The ELID or EID loan. That was to keep guys pushing payroll forward.
Okay. But it was a true loan.
And really people with more employees got something out of that. I think they sent me like $1,000 per employee. That's all they sent me, and that was just that was a grant, if anything. So.
Okay. And that's, see, now I've heard it both ways. I know people that have taken SBA loans and they say it would be not impossible, but extremely difficult to bankrupt it and discharge it. So you're saying this one that you took can be discharged in bankruptcy?
Supposedly, unless you have personal assets that are tied to it, like you put up your, you put up your the deed to your house, or if you have, like, I guess if I had actual equipment for them to take, they would take it, it in the bankruptcy, but you can go bankrupt on it.
Okay. So the people I know then would have been the ones that, thinking it through, they did put up significant personal assets as collateral.
Yeah, or business assets or whatnot. I mean, if you ended up getting a loan over $200,000, you had to put up some form of collateral.
Okay.
So I only took 100,000. So with which to be honest, during COVID, paying the guys for about almost a month, and paying the one truck off, I put a transmission and stuff in the other truck, and then I was just waiting for things to pick back up, really, to be honest with you, and they never did. I figured at least within a month time, it took a little bit longer than that, for like what it was almost even the rates and everything. It took about like 6 months almost for everything to start winding back up again, and then what, about 8 months for the rates to really go up through the roof.
Yeah, I don't remember. Okay. Snorlord says EIDL and PPP. Okay. I don't understand. I don't know the finer differences. I think EIDL was all loans, wasn't it? And PPP was grants that
The PPP was grant.
Okay. But some people did have to pay the PPP back though, right?
Larger companies, like over 50 employees or something.
Okay. All right. There you go, JP. Good advice. Listen, for anybody,
either way, to be honest, like if I look at this, I basically, well, I don't know. I guess there's two ways people could look at this. People could either look at this and say, you know, the taxes and the way things are done are kind of like a little out of control. Or there's people that could say that, you know, I basically, to be honest, I defrauded the government for 3 years.
Let's not confess to that on a public video.
I'm just saying, though, like, you know, if you don't pay your taxes, if you don't pay your taxes, that's the way people are looking at it.
Okay.
You know, because technically they feel that, you know, you aren't contributing to society in some way. And you know, what's even worse is it would be different if I had a lot to show for it. You know, if I had a nice pickup truck or a nice house.
Well, that's not what that money was for.
Huh?
That's not what that money was for.
No, like I live in a tiny little house. It's maybe like only 1,200 square feet. I don't have no new pickup truck. I don't have no nothing. All that money went back into the business. I didn't buy no side-by-sides with it. I didn't do nothing with it.
Okay.
You know, I don't have like I don't know, what do you want? Fucking an ivory gun collection or something. Like I don't got nothing like that.
Well, would it be too personal if I asked what did you do with the money?
What, the 100,000?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it paid. Well, some of it went to.
Now, be careful. You know, don't admit that
it's something
illegal. Okay.
Let's see. Well, a lot of it paid off back taxes that I already had, that I filed, but I still wasn't able to keep up with the taxes. I think there was about, like, we'll say about 50,000 in back taxes that I paid off.
Okay.
Then I paid off the one truck that ended up blowing up. Then I think that was like 15 grand out of that. So we were at like 65. I paid the guys at least 1,000 or 8. So that was 8,000 right there. Went to at least keep the 2 drivers that I had for a while, because I thought within a month I figured the whole COVID stop the spread thing would be over. The one truck, I ended up putting the transmission in it with the money because the clutch was starting to go. And I basically put a lot of the money back into the trucks and was like hoping that, you know, we weren't going to sit here for 6 months and play, you know, end of the world, which we basically did.
Mm-hmm.
Or I would have I don't know, maybe I would have took out more money. I don't know. Maybe I would have put the business assets up for collateral or something.
Is there any, looking back, is there anything you wish you would have done differently with that money, or not taking it at all, or what's your looking back?
Well, maybe not taking it at all, or yeah, probably not taking it at all, because it really wouldn't. I'm still in the same predicament anyway. You know, just with a bigger dollar amount.
Okay.
To be honest, if you go back far enough, I almost wish I never became an owner-operator, really. I wish I would have stayed a W-2 employee and never got involved with trying to become, I don't know, wealthy, fruitful, have a generational wealth, I guess you could say.
Nothing wrong with those things. I mean, it's not a bad thing to aspire to. It's just, how do you
It's
get
just
there?
like thinking I can't be the only one. Like there has to be other businesses where they've slowly went out of business, or they weren't able to pay the taxes because they used all the money to pay some debt, or like I
It happens
cannot be
every
the
day.
only person. Huh?
It happens every day in this country.
Yeah, I mean, I can't be the only person that's in this predicament right now. I mean, even if I did put myself through this,
No,
there
but
has to be.
YouTube opens you up to a lot of scrutiny. You know that, and there's going to be
No, I know.
things that you said here today that are going to be twisted around and used against you, and probably things that I said. I'm sure people are going to say you're too soft on him. You didn't. It's not my job to sit here and be YouTube police and call them out. You know what? We're talking as
Put it this way, I've probably lost like 15 pounds in the last couple days. Like
Ooh.
I haven't been able to eat really or anything. So
Do tell, because I could use a little bit of that.
yeah. Well, just screw your life up real good and give yourself a lot to worry about, and you can lose a lot of weight. You get stomach cramps and everything else.
They say you lose a bunch of weight just before you have a major heart attack.
Yeah. Well, I hope not.
Yeah. So are you, on that note, are you taking care of yourself? Are you, physically?
Yeah. I finally changed out of my clothes and took a shower and cleaned myself up.
It's hard to break them truck driver habits, isn't it?
Actually, yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, the biggest thing too, that's another thing. Like when I'm stuck out here, necessarily if I'm running like if you end up running like Massachusetts, Connecticut, the Bronx, North Jersey and stuff, what truck stops are you really going to go to, let alone have a place to park to get out and take a shower or do anything?
Prefer to park on the side streets of Camden.
Yeah, I mean you're not really like even if you look at like you might be able to get into the Petro there in Bordentown. That's really your only shot. And the way they run, run or have run, it's either feast or famine here. It's been lately. And when I first started, it was all feast, and it was good miles, and now it's maybe out of nowhere we'll give you a run to Georgia, and the rest of the time you'll be going into the Bronx, New York, and Massachusetts and stuff like that. And just
listen. There's we're in an environment right now, not just in trucking, but in the country in general, where this is happening. This same thing is happening to thousands of other people every day. You just happen to have a YouTube channel, and you talk about it. This is not unique. Like, we are in terrible economic.
I just read something the other day. I think it's BIM or BMI. It's a huge commercial truck lender.
BMO.
BMO, yeah. They just came out and said that basically defaults are like through the roof.
They're through the roof.
Yeah,
and we got a long ways to go. It's not over by any means.
I would say the only reason nothing's been really broadcast about anything like that, or personally, or the economy, is it's because it's the election year, and they don't want to give 2008 vibes.
Well, yeah, I don't even want to get into all that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just.
Yeah.
It correlates with everyone bailing out, I guess.
We're also at a culmination point. They say kick the can down the road. We're nearing the end of that road that we've been kicking the can down for 100 years.
Well, basically what I did. So if it comes to an end for me, I'm sure how bad it could come to an end for as a whole in the country. So
yeah, a lot of people are hurting. Just to buy food and your basic necessities are crazy for anybody. Right? You almost have to be rich to provide for your basic necessities anymore. It's getting ridiculous. I can't believe with how high rent is and all these other things. But so yeah, we're there. Have you considered faking your own death?
I don't know, possibly.
See, you can still laugh about it. So you're okay.
I could become Alberto. Then I'd get
could.
$10,000 when I come into the country.
Ah, geez, we always got to go back to that. Boy. All right, well, I'll let you alone for now. We've brought all kind of hate and discontent to the channel, so
it's all right. It makes it spicy.
Yeah, I try not to do that. We got enough problems. We got all kinds of problems.
But
all right, so what's next? What's next? Are you going to continue the channel or no?
I guess I might as well put something up there, to see where it goes. At least as long as I have a cell phone and stuff.
You might as well. You bought all them cameras and stuff. Are you generating any kind of income from it? Any kind of revenue?
Not lately here. YouTube's kind of wound down a little bit.
Tell me about it. Well, you get out of that algorithm, it's a real bitch.
Yeah.
Well, you might as well. You'd take that money, make a payment plan with old Uncle Sam, right?
Yeah.
Have you considered trying to sell that truck? You want to try to plug a truck for sale?
Yeah. I think there's probably $100,000 left on it.
How much without the bumper?
Huh?
It has a slightly damaged front bumper, from what I understand.
It's slightly damaged front bumper, slightly damaged fairings. The plastics are all falling off of it because it's just does because it's on the ground. The ground affects plastics. Yeah.
Okay. You're not a great salesman.
No, I'm not. I'm kind of just. It is what it is.
Okay.
What's what happens when you're tired all the time and you get put in places where you shouldn't be? Yeah.
How many miles are on this rolling heap of shit?
Like 113.
That's all?
That's all.
Damn. I thought way more than that. Is there warranty left on it?
Yeah, there's warranty still on it. 7 years, 70,000. 7 years, 700,000 miles or something.
Did they ever get those injector issues fixed?
Yeah, they got that took care of. They put new injectors in.
Okay. All right. Well, anybody who wants to take one final shot at Jackknife for the day, now's your chance. Go ahead. Have you considered? I can
imagine what the comments say.
Have you? Some of them aren't good. I'll be straight with you. I'm not.
Have you considered OnlyFans?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Cheap Freight Hauler says used ones on truck paper just like it are $120 to $150. You might be able to sell it. Hey, at this point, what can it hurt to try? Can it hurt to try?
Yeah. Yeah, it can't hurt to try.
Solve a lot of problems for you. Even if you took $5,000 less and say, hey, let me make payments on that remaining amount. Oh, well. Well, you have yourself a fine afternoon.
You too. And, you too, Adam.
We'll talk to you later.
All right, I'll see you.
Yeah. Damn, you guys are brutal. Man. With both feet, check with Pop-Tart. I don't know if she leases people on or might buy the truck. It's a little too. Oh, we lost him. Now he's gone. A little too rich for my taste. Can't sell the truck if you don't have a title. No, but you could go to the finance company and say, hey, I'm needing to sell this baby. How about, I sell it, give you the money, you give them the title. Or, hey, I'm about to give you this truck back on repossession. How about you let me sell it for $5,000 less, and I'll sign loan papers on that $5,000 and make payments. Otherwise, you're going to take back a truck. You're going to take back $100,000 problem, or you could have a $5,000 problem. At least you don't have to worry about all those boneheads blocking the fuel island for now. Oh, Cheap Freight Hauler, my final shot at Jackknife is no judgment here. You've got my number if you want to talk. Ooh, I didn't know you guys talk. See, Cheap Freight Hauler talks to everybody but me. Where's the link? Link for what? Got to be careful putting that link out there. Try to keep it clean around here. Yeah, so that's Jackknife TV. Check out his channel. I don't know. Was I wrong for here's something you guys can pile on me about. Was I wrong for trying to be helpful? Am I wrong for not wanting to see another person suffer? Was I too soft on him? Was I too hard on him? Is it my job to be the moral compass and call people on out for what they have done and have not done wrong? I don't believe it's my place. Cheap Freight Hauler, don't be jealous, DIY. I emailed you, but no response. When did you email me? I don't remember getting an email from you. I don't know your real name. And where did you email me? You could have very well went into spam. That happens a lot with a lot of my YouTube emails. So email me again. Tell me what piece of crap I am for not responding to your email, because it does happen. Benedetto in the house, the man of 1,000 Maserati cars, says it's a cold world. It is. Too soft on him. Maybe. My first instinct is not always to be a piece of shit to somebody. My first instinct is usually that they're another human being, and I should treat them the way that I want to be treated. I don't know all the things he's done. I certainly don't know any of the drama things that he participated in, other than what people have said. Hey, did you see this or did you see that? And you know what? He was kind enough not to involve me in any of it. So why would I be, shitty to him about it? Justin says his channel would blow up if he filmed his journey to turn his life around. That's a really good point. Some of it might be kind of private. I wouldn't want to put too much privacy. Judging by the comments today, if I don't think he should even put out where he goes to work or what his next job is, because people might try to mess with that. Xload says, I can see people being cold about the situation, considering we're all still in the same boat trying to survive. And I'll tell you why I'm not cold about the situation. I haven't been there on that magnitude, but I've been there. Like in my younger years, been through some stuff, and it really sucks, man. The thoughts that go through your head, I know the thoughts that go through your head, they're not good. And it makes me, sensitive to other people's thoughts that way. Godshaw says he is effed either way. Yeah, that could be. But like we said, at a certain point, it's how you want to have. You could be financially effed. Hey, but if you hold on to your wife and your kids and your family, that's the important part. That is. I couldn't imagine losing. My wife would beat my ass if I ever put all of the stuff we have at risk. Fear is a good thing. Tessie Truckin says, thank you for doing this today, you good people. I'm not so good. We wish him the best. Definitely helps to have a strong community. Yeah. It was just this morning to your Yahoo. Well, hold up. My Yahoo. Let me check my spam. You're number one in my spam filter, Cheap Freight Hauler. I've got some free time this morning. Oh, damn it. Okay, hold on, Cheap Freight Hauler. I definitely want to do that. I've been thinking about that for a while. Invite, copy. You got to show your face, though. I do have that rule, and you can't be driving. So I don't want to be responsible for that. Hold on, let me reply. Paste. There. I sent the link. Let me move you out of my spam box. There you go. With both feet, DIY, the big toe of trucking, the big bunion. Good on you, brother. Thanks for returning my call, by the way. Was I supposed to call you back? I don't remember the last conversation we had. Can we use PLS brokerage? No. That's a big no. Okay, I'll have to call you back then. Yes, the global trans. Come to Walmart, man. I agree, Justin. Lots of others going through the same now. There is. You just don't hear about him. There he is.
Hey,
It's about time. Come on.
about time. Shoot.
Somebody's hauling racks of nursery
Yeah, man.
in the dry van. Nursery
Right there.
racks. There you go. Oh, you're just returning the racks?
Yeah, picking them up. This load, picked up an empty trailer, had 17 stops, but only made it to 11 because the trailer's full.
Snorlord says not everything needs to be on YouTube. You're absolutely right. There you go. There you go. What's up? So what's up for today? Did he freeze up already? Look at that. We lost him already. Buck Brown says, piece of advice from Wheelburner that's awesome is let your second thought be the first words out of your mouth. That is good advice. That is good advice. One point about the 22 market is a lot of people was able to thrive when they really shouldn't have. Having no concept of lanes or rates, just giving TQL a nice sounding number in your head is no good. Yeah, there you go. Wait a minute, I gotta check something for a second. All right, right where you're supposed to be. I gotta keep tabs on everybody. Are you back?
Oh yeah, here we go.
All right, come on with it.
Oh, nothing. I just sitting around. That's why I didn't know if I had anything I could add to Jackknife situation or not. But it's pretty much all been covered now, I think.
Oh, come on, pile on. Pile on.
Man. You know, like I said in the chat, Walter, I think the biggest thing that happened to Jackknife, well, the other bad decisions, but him leasing to that carrier that he doesn't have enough work for. They don't have enough work for him. You know, we both got our trucks about the same time. You know, I got my own authority, so.
Yeah, but you're
the rates are not the same as
hauling nothing but cheap freight.
Yeah.
That's the name.
I don't really haul cheap freight.
Oh, come on. It's a name.
I know. I was called that several times by a friend that was, you know, a guy. Because I wouldn't help him out with some loads that was paying like $6 a mile a few years ago. But those $6 a mile loads are no longer there.
Well, I think that went national because I've seen stickers on the backs of trailers that says, it's from OIDA, says, don't be a cheap freight hauler.
Yeah, well,
you.
No, no, they're not talking about me.
You got a lift gate on that dry van?
Yes, sir.
Huh. Fancy that.
Yeah.
Do you ever find that
big one?
Damn, that is a big one. Do you ever find that
yeah,
puts it to where some loads that you can't haul? Does anybody have a problem with it being on there?
No, this is a nursery's van. They lease all these trailers from Penske.
Oh, okay.
So it's power only. And these are very expensive vans. Look at all the E-Track they have in here.
I see that.
This trailer has it every 2 feet, and they got horizontal front to back, both sides.
That is a lot of E-Track. I'll give you
Yeah.
that. Is that an insulated van or just a standard? It's the walls.
Just the standard. Just the standard. I think it's because of the E-Track. This is a standard 4000 DX.
Okay.
Utility. Yeah.
Pretty fancy.
Yeah. But yeah. No, everything that I had just wanted to talk about has pretty much been covered in the chat. But
well, damn it. So was people saying I was too soft on him? Was I too soft on him?
You know, sometimes you get to be soft. You can't be a hard ass all the time.
Why does anybody need to be hard on somebody? I
think Jackknife's being hard enough on himself.
Yeah, there ain't nobody gonna tell him anything he hasn't thought of in his head already. I'm sure he's beating the shit out of himself.
Yeah.
I know I would be.
Yeah. And, you know, there's always something. We've always been, I mean, everybody's pretty much been in that same situation, not necessarily financially, but with other things. You know, I've
Mhm.
failed plenty of times in my life.
Oh yeah, but you're still there, still doing it. Hell,
There was times last year I told my wife, just forget the truck, call the bank, ask them what they wanted.
we've all had those thoughts like 7 times a day.
Man, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the need to feel the need to be hard on somebody. You'll never get grace in your life if you don't give it to other people.
No.
And trust me, I need a lot of it.
Yeah.
'Cause I got, just regular things.
Yeah, and I get on here and I give people, I give you a hard time in the chat sometime, and I bring up
Oh yeah, but I
things,
get
but
it.
it's all just poking fun.
Yeah, and
it's
I get that. We all do that. We all,
Yeah.
There's a difference, and the difference between being vicious. And like I said, we all give each other a ribbon every now and then.
Yeah.
So I'm just going through the comments here. Come to Walmart. Okay. Our life is pretty good at the Walmart. Yeah, wish him the best, definitely. And yeah, Buck gets it. He's been through some stuff. Well, I don't know if anything needs to be said. Not for once, as I'm just tuning in. Go ahead and start from the beginning about who you guys are talking about. You'll have to go back and watch from the beginning. It ended up we talked to Jackknife, but this show was not. Trust me, not everything said was about him. I said that in the beginning. It may feel that way, but certainly not.
Yeah, there's a lot of people going through the same thing right now.
Yeah, and you got to be careful what you say about, especially about being arrogant or cocky or know-it-all about it, because if it ever ends up being you're gonna have to live with the things that you said.
Yeah, and I try to put out videos, but I've tried to not make it where I seem like I was bragging or showing off, and there's some things. There's a video I put out the other week I thought was a good idea at the time, but
the hell happened there? You
I
went
don't
away,
know.
but you come back. Being humble is great because you never got to answer to anything you said, right? Or be say, oh, you're bragging about this. No, I never did that.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I guess my 10 is about up by now. So
get your ass back to work.
Yeah, there's another load sitting in the nursery waiting on me.
Hey,
7 stops this time.
How am I supposed to get my rose bushes, my coleus plants, my daffodils, and my geraniums? You're sitting on the ass of your lift gate, not delivering them.
Shoot.
Hey, I need my one-eyed Susans delivered to Walmart.
Hey, well, I don't do any Walmarts, but we do, and I hadn't done any geraniums or daffodils. Mostly it's just shrubs, shrubbery, Japanese maples, and azaleas. Man, too many azaleas.
If you're sitting there on the tailgate of your truck, who gonna bring me my crabapple trees to my local Menards? I mean, really.
You guys are too far away.
We are the perfect distance away.
Not for these drive-ins.
Oh, okay.
They get too hot between here and there.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. We'll do it again someday. How about that? Now I got your email. I took you out of my spam filter, but that don't mean you won't end up right back in it.
Oh, I spam everybody. So.
That's all right. Well, take it easy, my friend. Thanks everybody for joining in today. Thank you everybody for the super chats. Help each other out. Help each other out because you might be the one that needs help someday.
Yes.